done. That's pepperoni and cheese. From there, if you just add in a touch of hot sauce, you get spicy, not spicy, just a little bit enticey-roni and cheese. This pairs really nicely with warm morning after keg beer. Take some fresh basil, put some tomato sauce in the bottom, and bathe your macaroni and cheese inside of that. Sprinkle your fresh basil over top of that. That's Basiloni and teas, basically a modern Italian masterpiece. This pairs really nicely with vodka and Gatorade. Just take a little bit of macaroni, add in a bit of pesto. It's called pestaloni, yes please. You can take some broccoli, chop that up, steam that for a few minutes to get broccoloni and cheese. This pairs incredibly well with being a staunch vegetarian for 3 weeks until you drunkenly order a drive-through chicken sandwich. Another one you can do is take some Indian curry paste and chickpeas. This is super authentic Indian macaroni and peas. This pairs wonderfully with regretting not taking a gap year. And if you take some macaroni, put in a dash of whole grain mustard and ham. This is basically a ham and cheese sandwich with macaroni instead of bread. Also known as the ham sandamoni and cheese witch, or hammeroni and custard. This pairs nicely with bragging about how much you drank last night. For this one, you take some macaroni and some kind of tequila drink. It's called the Spring Break.
Will you prove worthy?
Probably not.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift. "30 seconds until minions spawn. Minions have spawned.
I learned from a young age to embrace the shadows.
Darkness, start.
First blood. An ally has been slain. An ally has been slain. An ally has been slain.
Tell me, was it desperation that led you to me? Good choice. Pairs nicely with wrath and fury.
Their screams will echo in this place.
There is much love.
That is why.
I see your nightmares. Do they trouble you?
Not nightmares. Plans. or my motive.
An enemy has been slain.
Not my first choice, but okay.
Whom should I obey? Master Zed or the farm implement with delusional... I was born to a mission of despair, and I alone am the remedy.
An enemy has been slain.
Their screams thrill me. Zed's order shackled me. I offer freedom.
Enemy flame sprung. An enemy has been slain.
Did such foolishness lead to your imprisonment?
Turret plate will fall soon.
Everything begins with purpose.
An enemy has been slain. An ally has been slain. Your turret has been destroyed. Shut down.
A lucky stab in the dark.
Shut down. Enemy double kill. An enemy has been slain. Your turret has been destroyed.
Serve to sharpen my focus. That long blade.
Rampage.
That was not the plan. Enough for now. I will return stronger. Oh yes, this is the right choice. The Blade of Millennia exercises my will.
An ally has been slain. Your turret has been destroyed. Zed now walks in I was forced by uncaring providence. My enemies will have no place to hide. Not every battle is a fight. I buy, they die. Simple.
Double kill. Defeat.
Okay, I got the photometer fired up, and we're just gonna find ourselves a nice, juicy... Got him. You suck at cooking, yeah, you totally suck. If your ground punching game isn't that strong, you can also just buy these at the store. And you could let your potatoes say goodbye to each other. Except potatoes don't have the ability to talk, so let's stop fooling around. Now that you've got your potatoes, it's time to decide what form of baking you're gonna use. One option is micro baking. If someone tries to condescend to you for using a micro bake oven, just say, I'd like to see you operate a micro... Beginner's luck. The truth is micro baking is super easy. Put your potato on a plate, set it for 10 minutes on high, and your potato should come out perfect. Another option is aqua baking. Some people don't want to aqua bake because they're worried their potatoes will get wet, which is silly because potatoes are waterproof. See? But because they're waterproof, aqua baking takes a long time, and also it's called boiling, and that's not why we're here today. Baking with the slow cooker is super simple. Put your potato inside, put the lid on, set the timer for 6 years, then go away and raise a family. By the time your kid is in first grade, you'll have a nice, delicious meal ready. Baking, the method I'm going to use today, is what humans have been doing for decades, ever since the discovery of the onion in Bancroft, Kentucky in the 1960s. Baking takes a long time because potatoes are airproof, but before you get started, you're going to need to prepare your potatoes. First, we're going to give them a nice scrubby wash. Then you're going to want to stab your potato with a fork, which is done by jamming your fork inside, then easily pulling it out with a pair of vice grips. You can also tap it in with a hammer. You can let gravity do the work for you. You can save time by stabbing with 4 forks at once, or if you play pro ball like me, you can do this. If you don't stab your potato first, the steam can't escape, and this is what happens to the potato. This can also happen with the micro baker, so don't forget those fork holes. Now we'll just slather the potato with olive flavored stab soothing balm, sprinkle with some Fresh Lock salt, and give these guys 4 free tickets to the Gravitron. Throw them on a pan, undos on 400, and we're gonna throw those in for around 45 minutes. Now we've had them in for the correct amount of time, but the fork is the ultimate determiner of doneness. Take your fork and whack the side. If you hear it resonate, then congratulations, you own a tuning fork. But if you take a real fork and it slides in easily to the center, you know it's done. If you encounter resistance, put it in for another 10 minutes. Now you're gonna wanna saw it open, and then press the ends together until it opens like a piping hot 70s change purse. Ooh. Now we're gonna shovel the insides out and put them in a bowl. Okay, that's ridiculous. Let's use a proper sized shovel. If the potato hole doesn't come out perfect, just throw the potato in the garbage and start over. Just kidding. Now look at this. What does this remind you of? It reminds you of nothing. When the Greeks first discovered the potato, they had to invent the number 0 in order to describe the amount of flavor inside it, which is where 0 gets its shape from. And that's why we load potatoes with anything and everything we can find, so we can try to forget that we're eating something so flavorless it's like staring into the abyss. And the great thing about it is you can put whatever the fuck you want in there. Why'd you censor that? Thank you. So this first one, we're gonna throw in some butter, some cheddar, some sour cream, some salt, some pepper, some bacon, some chives. The second one, we're gonna put in some veggie bouillon, some cumin, some cheddar cheese, some cream cheese, some broccoli, then wang jangle everything together until there's no trace of nothing. And then we'll shovel those insides back in there. Then we'll top them with some more cheddar, some more bacon on these guys, some more chives on the other ones. And then we're gonna get these motherfuckers back in. Oh, come on. Thank you. We're gonna throw these in the Undo for another 10 minutes to reheat the insides and melt all that cheese. Or you can just keep a very careful eye on them until you think it's done and then take it out based on your great observations and intuition. All right, so these babies are done, topped with some more sour cream and chives. And while you're admiring how good these came out, it's important to make sure that any of your raw leftover potatoes don't see your decked out loaded potatoes. They're already struggling with tasting like nothing. They don't need you making them feel more insecure. I'd like to thank Audible for sponsoring this video. I love Audible because they've really gotten me back into books. It's my favorite way to multitask, especially when cleaning up this. Seriously? Thank you. Audible has the largest selection of audiobooks in the known universe. I just listened to Born Standing Up by Steve Martin. He talks about the grueling years of developing his act before he finally made it as a stand-up comic and film star. It's raw, heartbreaking, funny, but more than anything, he's an awesome writer and I could not put this book down. You can get that book or any other book you want for free when you start a 30-day trial. Go to audible.com/ysac or text YSAC to 500-500 to get started. That's audible.com/ysac or text YSAC to 500-500. And have a great day. Bye.
You suck at
Nothing.
Yeah, you totally suck. You suck at cooking, yeah.
Put that in there. I'm gonna take a little bit of green pepper. Throw that in there. And a little bit of tomato. Throw in some pepper, and a pinch of salt. Actually, my fresh log bag was empty. Just give that another little mix. Now let's take this to the microwave. Let's try 20 seconds. Wait till it looks like a scene in the movie Gremlins. Look at that. Give it a little stir and see if it's cooked through. If it needs a few more seconds, pop it back in. Grate on some parm. Boom. Got a little omelet in a mug, also known as a muglet or an omelug. And don't forget to serve it with a hot plate of coffee. Okay, breakfast number 3. Banana, peanut butter. So you want to take your banana and you can just dip that into the peanut butter. And then go ahead and... It's actually better if you take it bite by bite and just spread a little peanut butter on and then eat it. I love this breakfast. Another thing you can do is take your banana, cut a few holes in the side, fill those up with peanut butter. If you want to make this in advance for the next morning, just slide it back into your banana skin, close that up, and take a glue gun, take your zipper, put some hot glue down each side here. Be very careful. Hot glue will f you up. And then, ow, just got f***ed up. Lay that out along the edge until that's secure in place. And then when you're ready to eat your breakfast in the morning, you can save so much time just by zipping that open and going to town on your peanut butter banana. I recommend throwing that in the fridge. Breakfast number 4, overnight oats. So you're gonna take some oats, around a half cup. Then we're gonna distill these between the mason jars till we have triple distilled mason oats or Triptis oats. Then you add the same amount of milk. I'm using vanilla almond milk. You can use whatever you want. Equal parts oats and milk is the base of overnight oats. From there you can add whatever you want to flavor it. I personally love a big scoop of peanut butter. A very popular overnight oats additive is chia seeds. Yes, these are the same ones that go on the pet. If you aren't already using a sweetened milk like sweetened soy or almond milk, you can add a little bit of maple syrup or other sweetener. And then just stir that up. Then you screw on the lid and this goes in the fridge overnight. And they taste best when they're served on a fresh yoga mat. And now we're at breakfast number 5. Making this starts by going for a walk and coming to terms with the fact that if you make this, you're never going to be a homeowner. We're making avocado toast. Well, I really hope it was worth it.
First, suck at cooking, yeah, you
meaning only ingredients found in our solar system. No dirty Alpha Centauri peppers or disgusting Kruger 60 black beans. Just Earth stuff. Before we start, we're going to tape up a few coffee filters over the window screen. That way all of the oxygen reaching our food is purified. This will also keep any coffee from entering the kitchen through the window as well. We're going to take an onion and give it a little acupunctural therapy. You're aiming to really stimulate those flavor meridians and get those layers flowing with as much chi as possible, and then smash it against the wall. And then safely sterilize your needles with crystal-infused water. Then we're going to take a vaccine-free red pepper and quickly put it through a past life regression therapy session.
Wow, you're a total loser. Ha 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 ha.
Now the that the peppers had a chance to confront its past life issues, you want to gently pick it up and smash it against the wall. I'm going to start the cooking process by magnetizing the pan, because magnets, and instead of electricity, we're going to cook with 100% positron flow. We're going to coat the pan with a medicine from Central and South America called coconut oil. It's a cure-all, which is a really nice thing to use. And we're going to get that onion in there and get that red pepper in there. Next, we'll take a can of black beans, drain out the ayahuasca they've been marinating in, and give them a clockwise sacred spiral hydro swirl. Next, we'll take an heirloom tomato, and we're going to use cupping to suck all the toxins to the surface. Chop off the toxic part, and then put that inside an airtight container. Keep in mind that toxins are toxic, so be careful to dispose of them in a suitable place in a safe and secure manner with a proper label so no one will be harmed. And now the rest of the tomato is perfectly healthy. I'm going to take a block of cheddar here and marinate it in some green smoothie. Much like the cupping, this will help to detoxify and make it extra healthy. Then we'll rinse that off and throw it against the wall to express any residual anger we might have been holding on to. And then we'll shred it. Let's add the tomato and black beans into the pan mixture. You can add some salt, triple P, maybe cumin, some hot sauce. If hot sauce is too hot for you, you can easily make homeopathic hot sauce by putting a drop into a container of water. Pour that water into a bathtub full of water. Take some of that water and pour that into the ocean. And now the whole ocean is homeopathic hot sauce. But be careful, it could make your dish taste cold. Now I'm going to take a tortilla and remove the biofrequency healing stickers I put on here. They're NASA grade, carbon lined, infused with subharmonic signals, obviously. I've got some on my arms here too. I'm rocking the Sacred 6 frequencies, which have their roots in Gregorian chants. So I'm feeling
pretty f***ing good right now.
We're going to take another pan and spray it with some chemicals because being too healthy can make you sick. You're going to throw down that tortilla, put down a layer of cheese, put in some of that filling, then some more cheese, and another tortilla on top. We'll let that heat up for a bit, and before you flip, use some acupressure to keep the quesadillas from getting motion sick. And a good technique for flipping is to take another pan.
Doubt is the greatest enemy.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift. "30 seconds until minions spawn."
Death before strength.
Minions have spawned.
Anger gives motivation without purpose. Do not I will
An ally has been slain. An ally has been slain.
This will be a harsh lesson.
An enemy has been slain. Slain.
In me, Wuju lives on.
Ally has been slain.
Let us begin. A true master is an terrorist.
An ally has been slain.
Not like this. Shield to the face.
An enemy has been slain.
The focused mind can pierce through stone.
gives motivation without purpose. Doubt is the greatest enemy.
Don't move!
Ally has been slain.
The back.
An enemy has been slain. Enemy killing spree.
Go to the face!
In me, Wuju lives on.
Enemy rampage.
A true master is an eternal student.
An enemy has been slain. Enemy rampage.
This mind can pierce the
Not dented.
Your turret has been destroyed. An enemy has been slain.
Go to the face!
Enemy is unstoppable. Turret plating will fall soon.
Let us begin. Form before strength.
Enemy double kill.
Doubt is the greatest enemy.
Go to the face.
Shut down. Free.
It even moods me.
Enemy rampage. Slain an enemy. Enemy double kill. An ally has been slain. Has been destroyed.
Can pierce stone.
Killing spree.
Do not let your pride blind you.
An ally has been slain.
Let us begin. Gives motivation without purpose. I will show you the path.
Double kill. Has been destroyed. Shut down. Enemy double kill.
First thing we're going to do is harvest one of the top 2 most important ingredients of the coconut macaroon, which is the coconut. They swim up here to spawn. And while we're technically not supposed to harvest spawning coconuts, this is when they taste their richest and milky. Oh, come on. That's just cheap.
You suck at cooking, yeah, you
Grass. Grab your push mower and gently push your mower up to the edge of the coconut until it's fully stabilized. Now slow-mo smash a different coconut. Hold your grater against the stabilized handle, take a piece of coconut and grate that into your bag. The mowage vibrations really help get these into the right size and shape for macaroons. Except that the mower isn't actually on because I let go of the safety handle and also this lawnmower doesn't work. If you don't live near a river where the coconuts spawn, you can also cut some grass clippings, put them in a bowl with some icing sugar, and just wang jangle those together with your pair of snippy lever knives until they become one. 100% pure coconut. Or you can take those grass clippings and paint them with some whiteout, which is basically an ancient analog delete button. But these macaroons would be strictly decorative. Hey Mom, I made you a Mother's Day thing.
Get out of my room.
Okay. Now that we have the coconut issue sorted out, you're gonna have to collect some condensed milk. The way you do that is by going to the store and buying a can of it. So we're going to combine equal parts coconut and condensed milk. And I forgot my can of... Oh, there it is. You might notice that condensed milk looks exactly like glue. Well, you know what they say, if it looks like glue and it tastes like sweet baby cow food, then it's probably delicious glue. Now let's just wang jangle these together until it looks like coconut coleslaw. Then you want to parchment paper your pan. Then take a spoon or a little ice cream scoop and try to make these around the size of a golf ball. The easiest way to do that is to use a baseball for scale. And you're aiming for about half the size of the baseball. Let's just double check that. Yep, looks good. We're going to put the endo on 3 fundo, slide these inside, and we'll bake them until they start to get a little golden brown. Probably about 12 minutes or so. You can also turn the broiler on for a minute at the end if they're not golden enough. Now you can stop here. The macaroons are done. But when you die, do you want your friends and family to have known you as someone who made mediocre macaroons? Or as someone who made the best macaroons possible? If you want to be known as someone who made the best macaroons possible, turn off this video, get a better recipe that involves egg whites and other fancy bullshit, and start over. But if you want to make the best macaroons with the least amount of work possible, it's time to get some chocolate. Since you don't own a double boiler and you probably don't know how to use a microwave, we're going to melt this chocolate directly in the pan. It's the simplest and most dangerous way to melt chocolate, because chocolate's easy to burn. Go in the lowest possible temperature and stir continuously. Most importantly, do not get distracted. If you only have one hand available, tape the handle of your pot to a big bottle of booze. Don't stop stirring, I said. Now cut off that duct tape and get ready to drizzle that chocolate any way you want lit. You can do the Dripsy Doodle, the Jerky Circle, the Cheap Zebra, the Lost Archaeological Treasure, or the Lake of Chocolosum. If there's some extra chocolate left over, stir in some more coconut and you get bonus cookies. In fact, you might as well just make these instead. They're easier and they're certified glue-free. Look at this, so many different styles of chocolate perfection. This is a real opportunity to express yourself, and these taste awesome, so it really doesn't matter if they look good or, oh, actually that one looks really pro. Not pro, pro. Not pro, pro. Not pro, pro. Now you're finally ready to serve your macaroons with a side of prunes and maybe a bag of runes and a handful of balloons with 3 or 4 spoons while listening to some tunes in the afternoon until it becomes evening and you can gaze up at the entire outer space region. This is a salad. This is also a salad. This too is a salad. It begs the question, what the f*** is a salad?
You suck at cooking, yeah, you totally suck.
So we're gonna take some blueberries. No! We do not do that here. This isn't a parade, it's a fruit salad. Let's be serious. We'll just throw those in a bowl, then we'll pull the stems off some strawberries, then slice those up into the size of strawberry pieces that you think are cool. And if you want a bit of a sharper taste, cut them into triangles, the most dangerous shape of all. Then we'll take some grapes and slice them in half. You can go 2 at a time if you want, or take another cutting board, then line up a whole row and realize that that doesn't work at all. You're not getting that time back. Just stick with 1 or 2. Find a way to enjoy the slice. I know it feels slow. Then we'll take a can of pineapple, drain the juice, then throw in those pre-chopped niblets. Now you may want fresh pineapple, but A, you can't eat that much pineapple unless you B, are having a giant fruit salad party, which you C, are not. So just get the can. Don't worry, metal is natural, and if you don't like pineapple, just throw in a can of oranges. Now we're gonna take a melon. No! Do not trust a fruit that has a seed nest in the middle, but feel free to throw in one of those kiwis. Now we're just gonna make the fruit salad dressing. Just because it's called salad doesn't mean it needs a dressing. A lot of people will put orange juice and sugar or honey, but let me tell you a little secret about fruit salad. Every single piece of this stuff is already full of fruit juice and sugar. It's built in. That's why it tastes so good. We'll add in some lime juice so you get a sour, flavor-enhancing punch in the mouth before a sweet and gentle finish, and that's it. You don't want a giant pool of juice sitting at the bottom of the bowl. This isn't gazpacho. But if you insist on making fruit salad gazpacho, then make fruit salad sangria gazpacho. It's the perfect breakfast cereal if you have a difficult time getting enough wine into your body. Breakfast. Now here's an important question. Is there a place in fruit salad for banana? Yes, there is, as a Benang jangler. Just Benang jangle that together until it's fully Benang jangled, and you can also use it as a very bad spoon, or as an even worse knife. Horrible fork, excellent fork grip. So now you're done the easy part of making the fruit salad, which is chopping and combining the fruit. That's also the only part of making the fruit salad. Congratulations, what an accomplishment. You put fruit in a bowl. Oh. If you like popsicles and you like things that come in the shape of a popsicle, then you'll definitely like popsicles.
You suck at cooking, yeah, you totally suck.
The first popsicle we're gonna make is the pineapple cocoa honey nutsicle. We're gonna take a coconut and we'll just grab that can of coconut milk and get that into the blender. You might be wondering why there's this separation between the thick coconut cream and the coconut water. That's just because when the coconut's growing, all of the less dense coconut water rises to the top, while all of the dense coconut growth hormone falls to the bottom. Then we'll take a pineapple and we'll roll that out of the way so we can grab our can of pineapple chunks and get all those chunks in there. Then we'll add around 3 tablespoons of honey and a pinch of salt and a handful of shredded coconut. Blend that until it's smooth. Then pour that into a measuring cup so you can carefully pour that into your popsicle filling funnel. And then fill up as many as you can. Now we'll make jamberry bloopsicles, which are great both as a percussive instrument as well as an edible drumstick. We'll take another can of coconut milk, add in a cup of blueberries, and then we're gonna sweeten it. Can you guess how?
Sugar!
Nope, good guess though.
Molasses!
No, that would taste really gross.
A sweeter popsicle!
No, I'll give you a hint. It rhymes with flasberry ham.
Raspberry clam!
No, it's raspberry jam, you dumb So we'll just carefully scrape off 3 tablespoons of jam, add in a pinch of salt, a squeeze of lemon. Whoops, blenders typically work better with the blade inside them. Blend it all up and fill your mold. Our third popsicle is the Choco Maple Fudgesicle Cocoa Popsicle Pop. We're going to take another can of coconut milk. We'll add in 6 tablespoons of cocoa powder, 4 tablespoons of maple syrup, a teaspoon of vanilla extract, which really helps bring the flavor home, and a pinch of salt, which also really brings the flavor home as it does with any food that contains flavor. But if you don't have a blender, you can shake this one in a mason jar with a tiny whisk. This will be easy for you if you own a shake weight like I do, because you'll have that motion down pat. You can also attach the mason jar to your shake weight and then just get your workout in while you're making your popsicle. You want to keep that going until you've burnt the same amount of calories that are in the popsicle so that your popsicle is calorie neutral. Let's try a different angle here. Only you can decide when you're done shaking the shake weight. That's a personal decision. Okay, I think we're pretty good there. I wouldn't recommend using a 25-pounder for this. I mean, I can, but I didn't come here to talk about training. I came here to make popsicles. No funnel. The adrenaline from the workout makes me take more risks. Now we'll just pop those in the freezer for a few hours. Now, if making a popsicle with a classic stick and mold makes you feel like a sheep, don't worry, there's lots of alternatives. We've got the Gripsicle. This is for clumsy people who need a better grip, or if you need a popsicle in a windstorm. We've got the Handsicle, because holding a hand is the most natural thing in the world. Also for people who need to work on their intimacy issues. We've got the Chrysicle, also the Crisiscle. This is the stick chopsticle, if you want to have dessert and food at the same time. The Toothbrushsicle, keep that sugar off your teeth. This is the Community Popsicle. This is great if you go to a music festival by yourself and you want to quickly make 5 friends. We have the Off the Chainsicle, which is great if you're in a motorcycle gang. You can make the Tough Guy Popsicle, which is great if you're a tough guy and don't want to be caught dead holding a dainty popsicle stick. It's also useful for fighting off a dude who tries to make fun of you for eating a popsicle. Now it's finally time to take a bite of your popsicle. I mean, in the end, you can't argue with popsicles. I mean, they don't have a mouth, they don't know how to talk, they don't know how to think. You end up just looking like a fool, standing there yelling at a tasty treat that you could be eating instead while it melts all over your hand, you know?
Oh, popsicle, you can't stop so cool. Eating up and licking all the drips and all the dropsicles. Get into the pool and do a belly flopsicle, because you know it's always time to stop dropping popsicle. Can't topsicle, how much you want so cool. Looks like I forgot so cool when I was...
Refreshing lemonade, also known as sweet and sour juice, is great because you only need 3 ingredients: a pitcher, a glass, and lemonade.
You suck at cooking, yeah, you totally suck.
We're going to start by slicing the lemons in half, and if you don't have one of those lemon squeezy whatchamacallit yippity doodad thingamajigs, you can instead use a 4-prong lemon juicer. Just work that in there and demolish the lemon's natural juice retention system until you make acid rain. The nice thing about the 4-prong lemon juicer is you can really work that pulp out, and anyone who knows anything about anything knows that maximum pulp is the best amount of pulp. If you don't like pulp, you're a tool, or someone who prefers smooth things. You can also roll a lemon on the counter firmly until you explode all the inside. Whoops. So roll it slightly less hard than that and then prick it with your meat thermometer and squirt it out like you're milking a cow. So juicy. Also, don't forget to scrape out those seeds. If you need more torque on the fork, you can tape a Wang Jangler crosswise to create a Wang Cross Janglewiser, which really gives you a lot of leverage. Just use as many lemons as you need until you have around 1 cup of juice. This took me around 4 lemons. It'll probably take you around 5 or 6 lemons, just based on strength and technique and ability to make lemon juice. Then you want to add a cup of water to it. Whoops. You want to heat up a cup of water with a cup of sugar until the sugar becomes transparent enough that you can see right through it, but not so transparent that you can taste right through it. Then we'll use the power of gravity to add the lemon juice to the pitcher. Then we'll add around 4 cups of triple distilled mason water. Then we'll add the sugar water, which doesn't need to be mason distilled since it was purified with heat and sweet. Now with 5 or 6 cups total water, this makes a nice strong lemonade, tart and sweet. You can add up to 2 more cups of water if you're new to lemonade and can't handle it. Or you can throw in some ice cubes if you have a thing for refreshing glacial infused lemonade. Or maybe you had the foresight to make lemonade cubes. That's what the pros do. This makes your lemonade maximum cold and maximum strong. If you want to add a fancy twist, you can squeeze in some fresh ginger for gingerade. Or you can add in some cayenne pepper to make barbecue lemonade. I don't know what the right amount is, but I know that was too much. And because lemon has preservative qualities, if you squeeze a bit of lemon juice onto the top of your lemonade, it will stay fresh in the fridge for several days.
Oh, lemonade. Sure.
The first step to making caramel apples is to locate an apple tree and pick an apple. I'll take that one, please. Thank you. You suck at cooking, yeah, you totally suck. Before you make caramel apples, you want to get into the Halloween spirit by putting up some spooky decorations.
My sight may be gone, but my vision holds true.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift. "30 seconds until minions spawn.
My journey led me here.
Minions have spawned.
My training left more scars than any battle. again will evidence the strength.
Blood. An enemy has been slain.
They see only the blind. The dragon sleeps for now. Before we were one spirit. The dragon blazed my trail. I merely walk it. The marks on my body are not warnings. They are reminders of the burden I bear. Ionia prayed for peace. What fools we were to think it possible.
Killing spree. Rampage. An ally has been slain. An ally has been slain. team will fall soon. Shut down. An enemy has been slain.
Failure has not stopped me before. It will not now.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
I need no blame. I will atone.
Waiting. What?
Your turret has been destroyed.
We do what we must.
Shut down. Shut down.
The dragon spirit offers me another chance.
An ally has been slain. An enemy has been slain. You have been slain. Enemy double kill. An enemy has been slain. Your turret has been destroyed.
I shall not repeat that mistake. discipline.
Shall transcend.
Master yourself.
An enemy has been slain. You have slain an enemy. Your team has destroyed a turret. Your turret has been destroyed.
The dragon spirit is not. dragon spirit. Quiet steps. Extend your senses. Waste not a My spirit rests. My fists.
An ally has been slain. An enemy has been slain.
Endless trials await. The monks taught me well, but I determine my own fate. My spirit rests. Only I can endure. answers in flame. I did not blind myself. I called upon the dragon and suffered its wrath.
Aced. Your inhibitor has been destroyed.
I
Your
shall
turret
not.
has been destroyed.
The first step to making caramel apples is to locate an apple tree and pick an apple. I'll take that one, please. Thank you.
You suck at cooking, yeah, you totally suck.
Before you make caramel apples, you want to get into the Halloween spirit by putting up some spooky decorations. Some spider webs, put in a couple ghosts. Then you want to get some blood on there. Great, that's looking nice and spooky. The jack-o'-lantern is the most classic Halloween decoration made from a pumpkin. Make sure to get your jack off of the counter and outside where people can see it. Other lanterns include the jackalope, the pep-o'-lantern, the apple-lantern, the cucumber-lantern, and the lantern. Halloween is the one day a year children are encouraged to take candy from strangers while trespassing with a mask on. The candy apple is the egg salad sandwich of Halloween treats. You don't really want to eat one if you don't know where it came from. They're also a great way to make sure kids don't come back to your house next year. Now you're going to want to get your sticks into the apples in advance. You can use a chopstick or a popsicle stick, a nail file. You can use your favorite wang jangler. You can insert a Sharpie, a nice pair of scissors, a wooden dagger that you carved yourself, a breadstick, whoops, or a carrot stick. Apples. The key to the caramel apple is balancing the tartness with the sweetness. You want a nice sour apple to contrast the sugar. It's kind of like a sour key. Remove the stems from the apples, then keep them in a special place forever. We're gonna take these caramels, a little bit of liquid, milk, cream, water, step up to the mic. 2 minutes, power level 6 or something. Once it starts to bubble up like some kind of sci-fi virus, you want to give it a stir. That's how you know it's working. Now I just had these in the freezer so that way the caramel will set immediately. Parchment paper here. Let's just give it a spin. Oh, that is some thick ass caramel sauce. Spin. Let's get the Wang Jangled version on there. I'm throwing these right in the freezer. Bye. I'm gonna take this apple, cut the top off. Cut the core out. Now let's fill that up with caramel. Smear some caramel around here. Then we'll just glue that shut. Now that is a caramel apple. Another thing we could do is take an apple and some caramel in the middle. Think like a caramel apple sandwich. It's basically a strip waffle. Oh, look at me, I'm from the Netherlands. Let's try one more. No, it does not want to stick to the inside of the apple. It's like nanotechnology or something. It's like that magical spray that came out a couple years ago where you can like pour mustard on your shirt and nothing will stick. Maybe we should make like clothes out of apples, you know, and we'll never get stained. That's patented. All right, so our candy apples set beautifully. Now if you want to get even fancier from here, take some melted chocolate, drizzle it all over there. Oh, look at me, I'm Jackson Pollock. This is also good to use if you didn't get on the top here. You can just make it look like you meant it. And then this handle's a little bit loose here, so use the chocolate to just shore up the structural integrity. There we go. Once that dries, it'll be stronger than cement, but tastier than a brick. This is mint chocolate, by the way. If you don't like mint chocolate, you're a f***ing tool. Maybe we can make a crazy face on here. That looks pretty good. That's actually my first time ever trying that. And then, you know, we do like the theater masks, you know, sat on this side. Oh, I'm in drama class. Which caramel apple are you? This obviously is the most dangerous caramel apple a human could ever make, mostly because of the dagger, partly because the apple seeds contain cyanide. This one's gonna be really awesome if you're hungry and you need to stir some marinara sauce. Now we're gonna put the caramel apples in a dark closet for 24 hours to infuse them with maximum fear. If you want to be that house at Halloween, the house that makes kids super excited, give out full-size candy bars. But if you don't want to give out full-size candy bars, remove the candy bar from the package, replace it with breadsticks, and a little fortune cookie style note. Life is full of disappointment. Now you're ready to go. Another way to do a candy apple is to make the stick out of candy. That way you can start with the apple and then finish with the really good stuff afterward. Other candy apples you can make are the Juicy Frapple, the Skid Apple, the Tic Tapple, the Kit Kapple. If you don't want to go through all the trouble to make candy apples, there's lots of other treats that kids love, such as sesame snaps, pepperoni sticks, applesauce, seaweed, magic brownies, a spoonful of sugar, a can of tomato soup, a handful of prunes, a little box of raisins, and Old Man mints. Happy Halloween, everybody. The skin of a squash is extremely tough, so always use your strongest knife when you cut it.
You suck at cooking, yeah, you.
Once you've got that halved, then it becomes obvious why butternut squash is also known as nature's ladle. We're gonna start carving out the squash. Whoops. So you've got your two pieces here. What you're gonna do is take a hinge, line that up between the crack, take your screws, just screw those into the squash. Don't over tighten them though. You might break the screw. Oh shit, it's not opening. Oh, I see. So we'll just cut this off, I guess. Okay, so that works pretty great. Put this in right here. So now we're gonna be able to lock it, and we'll just take this handle. Great. And then, oh shit. Okay, just unscrew that. This is what happens when you pioneer something new. You're gonna run into problems, but you do that so that the people who come after you don't have to have those issues. That's what being an innovator is all about. I'm kind of like the Elon Musk of squash cases. And basically what you've created is a perfect holder.
Gizmo
motivation without purpose.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift. "30 seconds until minions spawn.
Please allow my cannon and I to conflict resolve. A cannonball is the best icebreaker.
A summoner has disconnected.
This is my 357.
Minions have spawned.
Please allow my cannon and I to conflict resolve.
Was this?
First blood.